Hey, it's Adam with ROAS Media, and today we're going over Comfort Masters. They're a heating and air conditioning company in the Fort Worth area, and they're advertising for ductless HVAC is the keyword they're going after. So, the first point we'd make is have the ad match the keyword. So, central air conditioner versus ductless mini split. It talks about air conditioner repair, talks about services for the house, repair, installation, and maintenance. So the ad doesn't really speak to why people are going to click on your ad in the first place. And that decreases your quality score, increases your cost per click, decreases your click-through rate. It decreases anything that matters and boosts up your cost. So having ads that cater, I know it's a lot of work to do, especially if you have a ton of keywords, but having ads that talk about your keywords that you're advertising for is one of the better ways you can do, and you can boost your conversions overnight by just playing, doing a good job with your ads. So that'd be the first thing we do. The second thing is the dedicated landing page. So landing pages are important because people go to your homepage and have to figure out what they're there for. So you're sending people from a ductless ad to your homepage that doesn't talk about anything ductless, first of all. Secondly, it doesn't direct them how they can get in contact with you. It says call here. They're coming from an ad on either their computer or their phone. Typically, they want to submit a form to reach so you can reach out to them or they can reach out to you, but they're not usually looking to call the company immediately, especially as for an estimate. Usually you book inbound, or it's not really inbound lead, but leads come in, you call them to schedule an estimate with them. Unless you have a scheduler on the page, that's a great way to do it. But, calling is not really the prime objective. It shouldn't be the prime objective for a search ad. All right. So if you don't want to build a dedicated landing page, what you can do is personalize this one by using Google Optimize. So you don't have to personalize the actual content on the page. You can customize on the front end. When people click through an ad, they can see a specific thing on your landing page that they're landing on. So you do that with Google Optimize. Just make a personalization from anybody coming from Google Ads for this keyword. You can do by keyword, you can do by campaign, you can do by ad group, you can do however you want. But anybody coming from this campaign sees this version of this page. So do it that way. That's a lazy man's way of optimizing or creating a landing page. So you're talking about heating, you're talking about cooling, you're not really talking about what they're here for, which is a ductless estimate. So that's the second thing we do, is to create a dedicated landing page. Your Google homepage is kind of ideal for what you want. You don't really have you have heating and air conditioning in there. And if people did search for Comfort Master heating and air conditioning, which they probably won't, then you do need to run branded search campaigns. But for you specifically, they're probably going to search for your name, Comfort Master. So you did a good job of differentiating yourself specifically from the heating and cooling keywords. So branded campaign is optional for you, but it's usually recommended because especially if people aren't only searching for your name, they're searching for Comfort Master's HVAC, Comfort Master's air conditioning, stuff like that. You're going to see other people advertise. So I'll show you an example. Hopefully it works. Usually it does, because you can usually count on people to conditioning. You can usually count on people not to target their ads very well. Let's wait for this to switch on. So the links are ready now. All right. So usually you're going to see an ad on your branded name. There we go. So you see 3 ads above your name. Actually, 4 ads above your branded name. So you have a lot more real estate in Google. If you give yourself a branded search ad, it costs you a lot less money because it's highly targeted towards your brand name and just has air conditioning, HVAC, heating, and cooling in it. So yeah, I would do a brand search campaign that can probably bring in a decent amount of sales every month, just because heating and air conditioning is on almost every HVAC contractor's name. Create a brand search campaign is going to help you out a ton. So I take that recommendation as optional back. That'd be my third recommendation as a branded search campaign. I'm going to get you highly targeted traffic looking for you, and you're going to show up first because your ads are going to cost the cheapest because you're going to have more targeted keywords. You see how that works? So you have air conditioning, you have all the different variations of your name, and they're going to be going after air conditioning, which is going to be more expensive. You're going to be going after Comfort Master air conditioning, which is going to be targeted towards you. You're going to have a lot cheaper clicks, a lot more conversions because people are actually looking for you, and you're going to show up first most of the time. Ooh, I like that. They're taking advantage of pictures. That's the first contractor I've seen doing that besides the ones we work with. I like that. Okay. Anyway, so branded search campaign is going to be number 3. Number 4 is going to be remarketing. I took a look at your ads you're running. You're running mainly cold traffic ads. These probably are remarketing ads, the ones that are running based on testimonials. But I would have a ton of them. I would have videos, I would have text, I would have everything. Carousel ads, I would try everything for your campaigns because remarketing ads are pretty cheap and they're pretty easy to test if you have a dynamic ad creative, which I recommend for retargeting ads. You test out what works the best. So retargeting for ductless specifically, I don't really see ductless in here. Typically, I do the remarketing with what am I trying to say? I do the remarketing with the testimonial in there. Oh, this is probably an ad for customers because you're tapping like, so you're trying to get people to like your page. Okay, I understand a little better now. Should have looked at that before. Anyway, do a remarketing ad for leads. So you should have a lead form inside here pop up. When someone clicks on one of your ads, they submit a lead form to you, getting a time for an estimate. What I would do inside the lead form to test it out, I would have a couple different ones running. So you can test out lead forms. You can test out anything on Facebook. I would do lead forms with just name, email, phone number. Those are pre-populated by Facebook. So those are going to be the least worst quality leads. A lot of people inside the Facebook form don't know how to exit out the very top. So, they're going to click submit and they're going to get a lead. But you get rid of those. I would do name, email, phone number, zip code. Zip code is pre-populated, but, usually if you're looking at the zip code, you're going to see you're taking more time on it. And I would test out a date modifier in that. So, ask the question, what time works best for you, something like that. So you have to type in whatever they want, or they have to pick a time on the calendar. There's 2 different options you can do there. So I would test out those versus the pre-populated versions to get better quality leads. If you hand Facebook data, you can actually do something called conversion leads, which we don't recommend if you're not giving Facebook data back. So you need to hand them data on who is the best customer for you. They can spit out who's going to be more likely to convert based on your customer profile. If you're not giving them data, then don't use conversion leads, just use leads. Unless you have a ton of traffic and they know who converts on your ads and who doesn't. Usually contractors don't. Usually they're not spending that much money to do that. So conversion leads, if you have traffic, and I would do people who are more likely to convert on your offer than on your lead form. Because leads optimized for lead forms, conversion leads optimized for converting on your offer. So, lead form for marketing on Facebook. And then I usually use the testimonial ads after someone has booked an estimate to confirm that they're going with a good company. So you can run remarketing a bunch of different ways. Marketing is pretty cheap to do, so you can do a bunch of different marketing campaigns. That's usually a good one to do. And you can run a like campaign on your Facebook page after they've converted into an estimate for you already. So a little bit of a twist on how you can do things, or you can give them information however you want to do it. But that's how I would do it. So 1, match your ads with the intent behind the keyword. Your ad doesn't really match it. You have ductless in there first, but it's not really speaking to a ductless, someone coming in for a ductless estimate. 2, build a landing page. I know it's a little tough to do a landing page for each ad. That's why you hire someone like us to do it, or you do it yourself with Google Optimize. Pretty simple to do. In Google Optimize, you can do it probably in 10 minutes. You can convert. It's pretty simple to do as well. You can edit the text without knowing code. You don't really need to know code. If you want to change something intricate, you do need to know a little code. But besides that, I mean, not code, HTML. But besides that, you don't really need to know any HTML. Then a branded search campaign for your keywords around your name. So all the different variations of what people can search for. So heating and cooling, air conditioning, heating, HVAC, tankless, ductless, whatever you do, air quality stuff. Run a branded campaign for that and run them to either your contact page or a dedicated landing page. Hopefully build dedicated landing pages for that. But it's a lot of work to do, so I know most people don't usually do it. Anyway, and then the last thing would be a remarketing campaign. These are kind of typical for contractor or recommendations initially, but we've helped at this point about 100 contractors, 100, not 100, 100 contractors dealt with the conversions, and those are kind of the bread and butter of what we always recommend, because usually they're not really using landing pages that can do it overnight. Remarketing can do it overnight. Targeting your ad better can do it overnight. There's tons of things. If you look in your campaigns and your ad account, we can see a ton more stuff. Location modifying, hyper targeting. There's a ton of stuff you can do. Phrase match versus broad match, breaking out keywords into groups, structuring the ad account very well, remarketing on Google Display Network, YouTube advertising. There's a ton of stuff we can do to double conversions. But these are the ones that are the least expensive and the easiest to implement. So we like to give these out specifically. Plus, we don't really know about your campaign you're running, so it's kind of hard to give specific targeted advice. This is pretty specific because I'm going through your campaign specifically, but I can't look into your account. So anyway, hopefully this helps. Hopefully you make more money. We'll talk to you soon. Sorry for rambling.